Imagine a galaxy where the ultimate weapon isn't a planet killer, but a ship that exists outside of time itself, capable of striking before the enemy even knows they are at war. You are part of the crew of the Starship Omega, a vessel that has evolved from a simple scout into the spearhead of humanity's defense against an ancient cosmic threat. But when you discover that eternity is not just a name, but a burden that requires sacrificing your own timeline to save others, you realize that command isn't about giving orders. It's about making the choices no one else can bear. Welcome to Eternity's Battleship, the second pulse-pounding, atmospheric, and deeply strategic installment in Scott Bartlett and Joshua James's Starship Omega series. If you love time travel warfare tropes, military space opera, and stories that explore the sheer, unadulterated thrill of watching a protagonist outmaneuver fate through grit, ingenuity, and superior tactics, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in speculative fiction, blending the visceral crunch of tactical combat with the profound weight of temporal paradox. The narrative kicks off with our protagonist facing the immediate aftermath of a reality-shattering battle, thrusting them into a race against time to stabilize the ship's chronal drives before they unravel the fabric of space-time. The atmosphere is thick with the hum of distorted physics, the static of conflicting memories, and the creeping dread of knowing that every decision could branch into a timeline where the crew never existed. Bartlett and James excel at capturing the psychological toll of living out of sync, making every tactical maneuver, every resource allocation, and every narrow escape feel like a high-stakes gamble where the price of failure is not just death, but eternal erasure. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular Temporal Commander trope and the brilliant metagaming dynamic. This isn't just about shooting lasers, it's about understanding the complex ecology of time, managing limited resources, and using human ingenuity to outsmart enemies who have superior knowledge of the future. Watching the protagonist reverse engineer enemy strategies, craft overpowered gear from rare drops, and completely shock arrogant elites with unconventional trap-heavy tactics is incredibly satisfying. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the combat and the satisfying chiming ding of a massive level up to life, making every milestone feel like a hard-earned victory. But beyond the stats and the slaughter, the soul of Starship Omega lies in its characters and the heavy burden of integrity. The protagonist isn't just a cold, calculating gamer. They are a deeply human individual struggling to maintain their humanity in a system that rewards ruthlessness. They quickly form bonds with a beautifully dysfunctional found family of fellow survivors who help them navigate the treacherous waters of the new social order. The banter is razor-sharp, providing much-needed levity as their squad watches them casually calculate the damage output of a coordinated strike. Their unbreakable trust provides the emotional grounding needed when the world starts throwing literal world-ending threats their way. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. A major conspiracy or a rival faction's assault forces the protagonist to push their abilities to their absolute limits. The finale is a spectacular display of tactical brilliance, overwhelming magical firepower, and raw, unbridled ingenuity. The protagonist doesn't just survive the assault, they completely shatter the local power scaling, using a ridiculous, highly technical combination of skills and crafting to turn the enemy's ultimate attack into a mere stepping stone. The payoff is spectacular, delivering a massive dopamine-fueled victory that proves the most dangerous class in the system isn't the one with the biggest sword, it's the one who understands the rules better than anyone else. Eternity's Battleship is a triumph of the LitRPG and fantasy genres. It is smart, action-packed, and unapologetically addictive. Scott Bartlett and Joshua James have crafted a sequel that perfectly captures the thrill of breaking the apocalypse with a stat sheet and a strategy guide. Plug in your headphones, check your stats, and join the climber. The system is live, but his future is bright.